right, was able to see the movie yesterday, and congratulations. I think what's so interesting to me when I see a film about story and relationships, I'm always interested from the writer's perspective where that spark came for the initial story.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the most general sense, I originally wanted to do a movie, in the spirit of some filmmakers that I really admired, like Noah Baumbach and Mike Leigh and Kenneth Lonergan, where the drama, what's compelling about it, hopefully, is just in the most normal, ordinary lives of the most, normal people, and not anything heightened, not a big premise, not an extraordinary situation, but an ordinary situation. And then once I sort of was thinking that way, I began to make notes in a notebook about different characters and things and life problems. And it was centered on, the spine of it was a woman around 35 who, actually based on someone that I had known, who was going through a very difficult transition because her whole life she was pretty and charming, and life came easily, relatively speaking. And then all of a sudden now the wheels were coming off a little bit, and she just didn't quite understand why or what to do about it. And I just got intrigued by that situation, and then added other pieces and elements, and so tried to see where they fit or didn't, as the case may be.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's really like life sort of just changes in a moment and it alters her course.
Mm-hmm.
In your background, a lot of it's in comedy, so there's a lot of fluidity with that, but there's also a lot of darkness and angst and anger with the family. How do you balance those two, not only as a writer but as a director?
Well, comedy writers are almost always, any good ones anyway, are very dark souls. And comedy is sort of like a defense mechanism against your own inner darkness and self-loathing. It really is, though, if it's any good. So that part came easily, the darkness. Excuse me. The balance between the comedy and drama in the film actually came very naturally because I wasn't trying to write it funny per se as I would be with a sitcom script. It was just writing the scenes honestly and allowing them to be funny in the way that life can often be absurd or funny, or even in a very grave situation, in an unintended way. So it was I'm never going for a laugh per se, but allowing it to drift there if it wanted to, in the same way that a real life moment would.
Yeah, I loved that the title of the film comes from this sweet little story, sort of a taboo relationship, but there's a lot of sweetness and a lot of heart around Rob Benedict's character, Paul, which I love sort of balanced all the other drama that was going around, the sort of the tornado of it all.
Little help, the idea of it in the film is that for Laura going through this very, very difficult period, that they just by happenstance happen to have this connection, and her self-esteem is at a low, and for this man who she really kind of almost, actually the direction that I gave Jenna was that up until a certain moment, he's kind of like the family Labrador. He's very nice, sweet, you pet him on the head, but he's not anyone you really, think deeply about. And all of a sudden, she's realizing that there's a very smart, sensitive, and interesting man. Some gravitas, which she had never valued before. She valued, the high school quarterback and and good looks and all of that. And the fact that he, tells her how much he thinks of her is the little help. It's like she's able to feel good about herself just enough to sort of make that leap over the hill and grow.
And the element of music too, I think, is fantastic. It was great that you have original songs from Jakob Dylan, but it also is incorporated into Paul and his son and their relationship. For you, where's your relationship with music? Because that obviously is a key part of this film.
I love rock and roll music. It's unabashedly it's my favorite. The Dion, it was such a thrill to have Dion in the film. It was great. And Jakob Dylan, I always loved the Wallflowers, and just by chance, and when we were pre-production, I was driving and my iPod was on shuffle, and a Wallflower song came on that I said, oh boy, that would be great in the movie. And we couldn't get the song, but we approached Jakob to write original songs, and fortunately he was interested in doing that.
Fantastic.
And it almost became more than just scoring, it became like he was a character in the movie, that at certain moments his voice would come in almost commenting on Laura, and with a little bit of tough love, not always in a supportive way, sometimes in a very cynical way, which she deserved.
Yep, resonated well, and then you also had an actor, Rob himself was a musician, so I think it all sort of, the synergy came together.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations on the film,
Thank
July
you.
22nd. We'll be sure to check out A Little Help.
Thank you.